everyone. This week we are going to have one of our coaches on the spotlight, and her name is Maria. Maria, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is really fun.
Great. Well, we like to share a little bit about you. I do know about you, but it's more for our audience. So you have a very inspiring career. You've been in real estate 2 decades now, and you also run your business living abroad. So I know a lot of you are interested in virtual. So she is the person to talk to about that as well. But let's ask the question of the hour here. What drew you to real estate investing? Why real estate?
Real estate, because like you said, I have done things from abroad. The reason is I've always wanted to travel and I've always wanted to be in charge of my own life, or my own destiny and my own time, especially. And real estate allows you and allowed me this flexibility, basically financed my travel, my life. And it allowed me the ability to schedule things and to make things happen even while I was traveling. So it has a flexibility like any entrepreneurial endeavors. They do allow you flexibility, but sometimes they also don't allow you to move. But in this case, I have found ways to make it work and to do things virtually. And of course, now everybody talks about virtual nomads, etc. That's always been my ideal lifestyle, and real estate is a great way to get that done. So if you are someone who doesn't want to be stuck in one place, managing real estate or whatever else, then this is a great opportunity that we're living through right now.
Great. And you have experience in all the different strategies as far as real estate, from wholesaling to rentals to fix and flip. And we met because you were actually a specialist in pre-foreclosure prevention and short sales. So now, which one of these strategy would you say resonates more with you? And where you feel like your real specialties are?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's hard for me to choose just one because different strategies serve different goals, basically. So when I started, I wanted to focus, and I was focusing on flips. And I've done a ton of flips during my career because they spin out so much cash. And of course, there are pros and cons to that, because then you sell something, you don't have anything left over. That's one reason I've gone into rentals as well, because even though they are a longer term play, they do produce passive income, and eventually you have something to show for your work. At the same time, while I was producing all these, or I was looking to do deals, the market, as you know, I started right when the market crashed, or a few months before the market crashed in 2008. And so I had to adapt, which is really always the name of the game anytime you have your own business. I mean, not just in real estate. And so while adapting, I realized that people were going to foreclosure, huge numbers of them. And so I became a short sale specialist. And that's where most of my deals have come from in the past. And so that's definitely one of my specialties. And at the same time, while I was doing that, again, I couldn't rehab fast enough. I couldn't rehab all the properties that I was seeing from foreclosure. I couldn't buy them all. And therefore, again, as a result of this adaptation, I ended up wholesaling a ton of stuff. In fact, probably over 50% of my deals have been wholesaled. A lot of this, again, was done virtually while I was traveling the world. Basically, it's being able to focus on multiple strategies, and doesn't mean you have to start with multiple strategies. That's not what I did. I just changed as time went. It just gives you more resilience as an investor. I mean, after all, there is a reason I'm still in business after this long time. The fact is, as you well know, Laura, because you've been in business a long time, a lot of people come and go. There are a lot of investors that will enter the market when the times are good, and then they disappear when we have a major crash like we had in 2008. And afterward, I remember in 2007 when the times were good. I remember going to these RIA meetings. There were like over 100 people. And then when the crash happened, we ended up, there's probably 20 people that I know from that time in my city. So you must be able to adapt. So yeah, I would say that these are all strategies that I've used, I continue to use, and I'm grateful for having learned about.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up so many valid points because I think, I think the reason is people don't understand really the difference between real estate in general and real estate investing. You are an agent, and we're going to talk about that in a moment here because you're a very highly recognized agent as well. But you're a real estate broker, but you also understand real estate investing, which is very unusual to have agents that truly understand what investing is, because a lot of claim they do, but they really don't. When you're a real estate investor, like you said, adaptability is very important, right? So when you're a real estate investor, you're looking for opportunities. You're looking for those wrinkles in the market and the system that you say, okay, how can I go in and make the money? How can I go in and create win-win situations? And that's what you did, because you adapted your strategies, you adapted your vision, you adapted what you were doing to really take advantage of the market. Like you went in pre-foreclosure prevention and short sales. That was, genius, because that's what people needed. And as you and I know, if you went into that field back in 2008, you would make a ton of money. And I just want to throw this quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. Is by actually Dean Graziosi. He was on stage, and I saw him a couple of years ago in Arizona, and he said something. If Titanic was sinking and you were there selling the tickets to the next cruise, nobody would have bought it. But if you sold the lifeboats so they wouldn't sink, you would have made a fortune. So the thing is, in this business, what is the lifeboat that people need right now, right? And that's when you understand what a lifeboat is, like you did with short sales, then you made a ton of money doing that, because that was the lifeboat. So really cool. So you're being recognized by Forbes magazine as one of the top real estate brokers in St. Louis. What do you think has been the key to your success, either as a real estate broker and also as an investor?
Yeah, so first, as always, as in any endeavor where, again, it's you basically making calling the shots, it's about determination. At the end of the day, like everything else, you must have the mindset, the willingness to take action and to go into and get done whatever it is that you need done in your life. You must take charge, and but also we've just talked about this, is the ability to pivot, the being adaptable and being open-minded. If you go into any real estate niche, let's call it that, and think that that's going to serve you for a long time, that's not, it very well could, but it might not serve you as well as some others might serve you. So this is the beauty of real estate, is that it really can provide so many different things for us that whatever you might need at a time. Maybe you're a single mother like I am right now, and so I'm actually focusing on rentals right now because I don't have as much time to do flips as I did before. When I came into real estate, as I mentioned, I was doing flips because I had all the time in the world and I was having fun. So that's the beauty of real estate, that for whatever condition or whatever situation you might be in your life, it has an answer that can adapt to you. So one of the ways that I have been able to help people in my professional capacity as an agent, for example, and just to be clear, I only became an agent because I was selling my own properties. So I never went into being licensed because I was thinking of making money off of commissions. So I help, I only work with very few people as clients, but generally speaking, these clients are investors. And the reason I've been recognized is because basically I treat clients like, when I advise them as if it was a deal that I was going to buy. So they know that if I tell them something, I believe something is working. Of course, I always urge everybody to do their own due diligence. If I think something is working, though, I must have seen something, I will explain it. And normally they come to realize, yes, that's what it is. So this is what it means to be able to adjust and to also call things as they are. And I think this is also what has helped me as an investor, and what I always tell students to look at is like, where are we at? It's one thing to hear there are a lot of people out there, they'll tell you, oh, this is the thing to do. But then you must go and see, was it the thing to do maybe 3 years ago and it's changed now? That's why it's so important to be part of a group, like, for example, the group that I'm part of, that we are part of, where we do exchange this information and we know what is happening in the marketplace and how to take advantage of it, because you must be able to move with the times. And so this is the same thing. Again, it served me in business, and it served me when it came to being a recognized agent as well.
Yeah, it's interesting, Diana. I want to get into a couple of very important things right now, about your own experience. But one of the things, yesterday I was talking to somebody that she ended up joining the community, and I was telling her, I said, a lot of our students are with us for 1.5 to 2 years or longer. And she's like, but if you learn the strategy and you understand the business, why would you stay in the community? I said, where are you going to learn what is happening in the market right now? You have, all these women that are doing different things in different parts of the country with different levels of experience. And we all have our radars on and understand what is going on. What is the next big thing? What should we do? And so to find like a like-minded community with positive go-getters, and they have clear focus and goals and not going to let anything stop them. They're going to be the real estate investors that are going to survive the ups and downs of the economy. That's priceless, because you want to be around those people, not the people that when something happens say, oh, I'm going to quit real estate. I'm going to go sell widgets on Amazon. Like it happened with the COVID. A lot of people got out in the industry, and there were all these webinars about selling things on Amazon. And I'm like, why would you get in real estate for that? Real estate is here forever, right? So that's the thing. It's not one of those businesses that phase in and out. And so, yeah, definitely being around a community of like-minded women that are going to be out there looking at the next opportunities. One piece of knowledge like that can exponentially grow your business overnight. So that's not small feat. I want to talk a little bit about you and your virtual experience with real estate. I know, for several years you were living in Thailand, and you were, we were laughing at the time because you were working nights basically when it was daytime here. So, your schedule was all different. So talk a little bit about how were you able to do a virtual from another country as far as real estate investing, and which, by the way, I want to bring out to the attention of everybody that at the upcoming retreat, Make It Happen, we are going to talk about artificial intelligence, AI, and a lot of really cool things that is going to make virtually investing even more feasible and easy to do from anywhere in the world. So, that's going to be a big thing about the upcoming event. But how were you able to do it, Maria?
So yes, you make a good point, because that's a good question, because obviously I didn't have the technology that's available today. So it's even easier today to accomplish this, which is wonderful. And I'm definitely taking advantage of some of those technologies as well. But as always, first thing is always, are you determined to get it done? I mean, it's mindset, right? The second you decide to get something done, you find a way. And for me, I was very clear that I needed the real estate. I wanted real estate in my life to allow me to travel, but then I had to continue managing it and making stuff happen while I was traveling. And so communication was very much a priority. And how do you communicate? Again, I was on the phone at the time. It's the technology that was available was the phone, Skype. The fax machines, believe it or not, I had a fax machine was like this small that I would carry around. It's incredible. And it was very long, but it was very narrow, so I could travel with it. It was quite interesting. I don't even know how long that technology lasted before it was replaced by e-faxes, which I also used. And so you basically have to focus on communication. People didn't know that I was abroad. Very few people knew that I was abroad, because there was no reason to cause disruption. And I certainly didn't want people to think, oh, she's on vacation, or which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being on vacation, but she's gone. And so we can wait on getting stuff done. So people didn't know. And this is important, for example, for contractors that might think, oh, you're not going to be around to check anyway. And then the second point comes in, which is you must have boots on the ground. You must have a team. And I definitely had people here that were top notch, and they didn't come by easily. I had to go find them. And of course, we teach about how to do all of that, because that's so important to have the right team, the right people on the bus in the right seats. So really, at the end of the day, technology is just what makes everything easier. But really, at the end of the day, you must have the people and the willingness to keep open communication with them and to keep on top of things. And it is a business. We do want to pay attention to it. But once you decide to do it, it is not doing things from abroad has become, as I mentioned, just even easier these days. So in this case, if you're not even abroad, you're in the same country, then wonderful. You're at least on the same on the same time as your location, then it's fine. It's not there's definitely there are definitely ins and outs of this. We definitely do focus, for example, when I tell students about this, I definitely speak about the challenges that might arise with that, like, for example, how to deal with your teams, especially if you're doing rehabs, that kind of thing, contractors. But again, these are risks that are worth taking to be able to do these things virtually. And I think doing things virtually is a great opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more of a mind shift, I think. When you do investing with real estate, it's really more about the transaction. It's not something that where you're going to move into the property and you have to be so hands-on. So once you make a mind shift, it's an investment, you're really just exchanging a commodity, then it becomes easier to think about doing this virtually, and having, like you said, people on the ground and communication, that's key. And then you can do it from anywhere, virtually. And that's the thing that I made this huge mind shift, honestly, about a long time ago, back in the middle of the 90s, because I happened to live in New York and dealing with the Midwest and moving back and forth. That was a necessity. And like you said, I also had a fax machine that was long. And actually, I just threw it away like last month as I was downsizing my storage locker. My daughter said, "Do you want to keep it?" I'm like, "For what? I don't use it. I haven't used it in years." So yeah. Okay. So if you had to give a one top key of advice for women that are starting in real estate, what would it be? One thing that you would say to a woman that are looking to get into real estate?
If you really make me pick one thing, I will say take action. I mean, absolutely, sitting on the sidelines wishing things is not going to get you anywhere. The point is, what is your reason behind, people call it, what's your why for doing things? If you are attracted to real estate, normally there's a reason. Not everybody's attracted to real estate. Because unless, again, you surround yourself with the right people, you might make costly mistakes, and nobody wants to deal with that. However, there's a reward there that's huge. There's a reason why historically, since the beginning of time, the most millionaires have been made in real estate. Real estate is here to stay. It's going to vary from season to season, but it's going to be here forever because we will always need housing. And therefore, the question is, what is going to be your role in this? And if you're interested in it, there are so many ways to do well in real estate. I love it. I still love it. And I know we laughed about this before, Laura. We're saying we're going to be on our deathbeds and we're still going to be doing deals. And that's all right because it's fun at the end of the day. So if you are looking for something that is going to give you something to look forward to, where you're actually excited about what you're doing and is also serving you both time-wise, finances-wise, I mean, I don't know what other options really are out there that would come close to what real estate has to offer.
Right. Yeah, no, as far as, being on the deathbed, it's kind of a true, because my the inspiration that inspired me to get in real estate, Vi Dolman, she actually was doing real estate on her deathbed. She was 98 years old when they handed her last commission check for a closing that she did just a few days prior. So, she nodded and recognized it and on her deathbed. So it's very much true. Okay, great. So we're going to have this event coming up here, the Make It Happen retreat, and you've been a speaker there before, sharing your wisdom. So what are you going to be able to share at this event that's coming up, and so that people can connect with you and get from your knowledge?
So when I speak with, and I know we all believe in this because there's a difference between the people that talk the talk and people that walk the walk. We very much are investors first and foremost. While I am a coach, I only coach because I have fun in sharing what I have done and what I've gone through and what I'm doing right now. And so we have fun at the end of the day with real estate. It is our life, right? It is what we do. So what I'm going to be sharing at the retreat is not only obviously my knowledge in different areas, which is firsthand knowledge. This is, I'm not talking about what somebody else did, who knows when, which is sometimes what happens when you hear people speak about things. But also I'm going to I'm going to share my experience with things that I've done that maybe didn't go so well, because like everything else, you're going to run into issues, and there are ways to bypass these issues, or as I say, to live to fight another day. Like any business, of course, there are pitfalls that you can fall into, but that's where it's important to have some guidance that allows you to avoid some of the biggest risks, and so you don't take chances that make no sense. So really a lot of what I share, in addition obviously to strategies about different things that you can do and processes on how to get these things done right, is also the fact, hey, watch out for this and watch out for that, which is a lot of stuff you don't normally necessarily get, just from a course, because these are things that people talk about in real life, because sometimes people don't want to share, hey, wish I'd done this differently and maybe this wouldn't have happened. But this is invaluable knowledge, and that's the point really of going to a live experience, where again, you have people that you could talk to in an informal manner in between sessions, for example, even because this is not the same as doing something virtually in that sense. So yeah, I'm looking forward to share real life. And of course, we obviously find ways around everything. I do always say, I always think that the greatest asset we have as investors is our ability to think like 20 different strategies for every move we make. And so if one doesn't work, I got another 19 that I can use. So there's definitely going to be a lot of that going on, that shared experience going on at the retreat.
Yes, definitely. Well, thanks so much, Maria, for sharing this a lot of golden nuggets, as I would call them. And for everyone else who's interested to learn more about, from Maria, from me, and some other amazing coaches, and even more the community, because we do bring a lot of wisdom and knowledge for people that were sitting where you are just a few months ago. That's the thing, Maria's been in for 2 decades. I've been in almost 4 decades, and a lot of our coaches have a lot of experience. But also we bring the community, people that are students like you that have done amazing things, and they're going to be on stage speaking and teaching what has worked for them. So there is a lot of good, valuable information there. We are having a lot of different activities. We have it in the field with a bus tour. We're also having a lot of fun activities, and we're bringing in amazing speakers that are kind of at the cutting edge with AI, getting lists together, hard money lenders, and so forth. So definitely make sure you reserve your spot. We are very limited on the spots because we like to keep these events intimate so we can get everybody their attention that they deserve. And so we're going to be providing you a link and a way to reserve your spot today so you can meet in person Maria, me, Liz, and all the other coaches as well. Thanks, Maria, for being and taking the time to do it.
I'm looking forward to meeting everyone at the retreat. We always have so much fun, and they're always so jam-packed with the information, but also with just connections. And these connections go a long way. I mean, you know this. At the end of the day, we are a network. So
Right.
The story about the 5 people you are closest to. So you do want to make sure your network is there to help you and support you.
Yes, definitely. Great. Thanks a lot for doing this, and I'll see you everybody at the event.
Take care. Thank you.